Imagine you're a West Coast G. You just linked up with a homie, and now you're cruising under the Cali palms in a low-pro Shelby. Suddenly, the vibe shifts. The music jumped to a folk cover. You blink, and you're teleported to Texas farm. You're staring at a scruffy guy with a banjo and a heavy southern accent. Yells out, "Where's my money, my money, my money, my money?" Talk about a culture jump scare. The first time I heard the Gross cover, I honestly could not believe this was Gin and Juice. I bet you felt the exactly same way. So, in this video, I want to take a deep dive into the musicology behind this seemingly bizarre, yet wildly successful flip. Then, I will talk about the profound concept from Professor Victoria Malloway's book, A Blaze of Light in Every Word. She argues that the cover isn't just a change of instrument, it's a synthesis of vocal characteristics. Malloway notes that the voice is embodied. It carries the weight of a person's history and identity. She points out that many covers fail, like those of Elliott Smith, because the performer tried to mimic a pain or identity that simply can't be copied. But here's where the Grodd was brilliant. They completely ditched Snoop Dogg's gangster persona. They didn't try to act hood. Instead, they delivered the lyrics with a raw, authentic Texas folk tone. This radical shift in vocal marketing flipped the script, transforming a gritty straight narrative into a piece of absurdist theater. The genre shift, G-Funk, started on the west coast of the United States in the early 90s. It is a subgenre of gangster rap, and it took shape on Dr. Dre's album, which is 1992 The Chronic, and Snoop Doggy Dogg's album Doggy Style on 1993. Music scholar Adam Kerms describes G-Funk as a West Coast rap style that used live instrument with a focus on bass and keyboard. Very little sampling and simple chromed progressions, from Kerms' 2000 article. Historian Robert D.J. Kiley adds that the sounds Dr. Dre built for this style use hard minutes beats, sparse drum track, and heavy bass with the slower tempos. He calls the genre G-Funk because it drives so early on 1970s funk by Parliament Funkadelic, Cali, 1994. The overall feel is slow to mid-tempo, smooth, and laid back. Bluegrass took shape in the 1940s in the Appalachian region of the southern United States. It grew out of the music of Bill Moran and his band, the Bluegrass Boys, and the genre is named after them, from the Roseburg 2005 article. Culture historian Robert Catwell traced the music back to older Appalachian, which is called Hillbilly traditions, shaped by the African-American folk music, jazz, blues, and country, from the Cantwell 2003 article. Bill C. Marlone's History of Country Music placed bluegrass inside of the country and folk family of genre, with a full chapter on it, Marlone and Lard 2018. Bluegrass is known for its offbeat, syncopated rhythm, high-toned lead vocals, tight harmonies, and what one reference work calls its driving rhythms. Bluegrass 2024. The feel is fast, energetic, and bouncy. That's the opposite of G-Funk's slow, smooth groove. The second part is the lyrics. First is the place and identity in the song. Why he used the LBC in the song? Because Snoop's invocation of the LBC operates what hip-hop scholar Marie Forman calls the spatialized identity. In his article, Represent, Race, Space, and Place in Rap Music, the popular music from 2000, Foreman argues that gangsters in rap expound their own versions of their power and how they being marginalized. The image and codes are of the street and their neighborhood, their community. These expressions are meant to diminish the presence of others who represent other cities and otherhood, from Foreman 2000. So naming the LBC is a represent to their tutorial, and it also shows Snoop within a specific black working class geography. Second, what do the G's represent in the song? It means original gangsters. In West Coast rap of the early 90s, G is not just reducible to criminal. Robin B. G. Kiley in Kicking Reality, Kicking Ballistics, Gangster Rap, and Position Industrial Los Angeles. From Race Rebels, Culture, Politics, and the Black Working Class New York, Free Press, 1994. Explains how the gangsters and OG figure back through a long Black history family line of everyday language. In Lloyd Price, Stagger Lee, 1958, Jelly Roll Martin's profound vernacular toast recorded by Alan Lomax in 1938. The Batman tells of the late 19th century and the age-old tradition of significance. For Kiley, the OJ Original Gangster, popularized by Ice-T, 1991 album of the same name, is an evolved style with deep roots in Black expressive culture. Not merely a contemporary criminal pose, Kiley says that in some form, gangster rap is a window into and critique of the criminalization of Black youth. So when Snoop named Chuck G's, he is using the respected street figure whose authority derives from lived experience and code. The second big part is the substance culture and its connection to the Black community. They mention the Indo and chronic is a short term for the indoor-grown cannabis. And chronic is also popularized by Dr. Dre's 1992 album of the same name. So this describes Dre and Snoop as functioning as the ambassador of cool in realm of pop culture, arguing that the chronic helped influence an entire generation's perspective on weed and music. This is from Tinsley 2017. Song's name. The gin is an alcoholic spirit characterized by its prominent berry flavor, and orange juice is always used to make this liquor into a cocktail. This cocktail itself reflects a particular early 90s mode of West Coast Black masculinity society. Robin Kelly's account of West Coast G-Funk clearly categorized Snoop Dogg among the LA-based gangster artists, associates with G-Funk, which is the gangster attitude over P-Funk beats. This is the style characterized by hard, menace beats, sparse drum tracks, and heavy bass with slower tempos. This was pioneered by Dr. Dre. The lyrics, beat, and lifestyle all fit together. Gin and juice feels relaxed, social, and affordable, just like the smooth G-Funk sound. The third part is the musical from while the lyrics stayed the same. The musical form undergoes a radical transformation. 1. Snoop's original G-Funk masterpiece is all about the groove. It's built on a hypnotic constant loop produced by Dr. Dre. This creates a flat structure, a steady, driven flow that doesn't rely on traditional melodical peaks and valleys. This creates a flat structure, a steady, driving floor that doesn't rely on traditional melodic peaks and valleys. But the Guards flips the script, restructuring into a classic bluegrass verse chorus, A-B form. The verse, the accompaniment is stripped back and restrained, putting the focus entirely on the storytelling. The chorus, when they hate rolling down the street, the whole band joins in with rich, multiple-part harmonies. It turns Snoop's cool, solitary mumble into a communal sing-along vibe, reminiscent of a church hum or a late-night campfire jam. This collective energy is completely absent in the original. Instrumental breaks and improvisation. The soul of bluegrass lies in picking, the art of fast, vocalistic improvisation. 读错了 The Art of Fast Acoustic Improvisation. The Graz inserted instrumental breaks that simply don't exist in Snoop's original. Between the second and third verses, they threw in a high-speed duel between the mandolin and the accordion. This completely shifts the sound sense of time, while the original feels like a steady, linear stroll down a sunny street. The cover transformed into a high-energy country fair vibe, exploding with technical snowmanship. Exploding with technical showmanship. Third, redesigning the dynamics in Snoop version. The energy is like rock solid, a constant heavy bass and drum beat that never flinches. But for the Graz, however, they play in dynamics. They intentionally slow down the tempo or thin out the accomplishment when delivering particular sensitive or hilarious lyrics. This use of crescendo and decrescendo creates a chromatic punchline effect. Is a perfect example of what Melloway describes how altering the sonic materiality allows a performer to completely reinterpret the original text. Now, we discussed the difference in the music. I like to talk about how race, identity, and ethnic background inform the cover version of these songs. At the end of this video, the Graz provide Melloway's biggest point. The emotion of a sound isn't just in the lyrics, it's in the alterity or the uniqueness of the voice. By swapping a West Coast G for a Texas troubadour, they didn't just change the genre, they rewrote the sound's entire soul. So next time you hear a weird cover, ask yourself, are they mimicking or are they synthesizing? Ultimately, the Graz Gin and Juice isn't just a quirky novelty track. It's a masterclass in vocal identity by refusing to mimic Snoop's swag and instead using the lyrics in their own authentic, high, lonesome Texas roots. They prove that the cover is never just a performance, it's a combine of their identity and their culture. So which do you prefer? Snoop Dogg's cool, smooth West Coast version, packed with bass heavy beats, or the Graz down-to-earth, humorous cover featuring the banjo? Thanks for watching.